Hi, good evening. I'm Mike Carlson, and with me is Rico Petrocelli, and he's a guy who knows what it's like to go the full 7 games in a World Series, although not staying up all night to do it.
No, we got in a little earlier than we've been getting in, but yeah, two World Series I played in, and both went to the 7th game. In fact, we were behind 3-1 in both series, came back, tied it up, and then lost the last game. But it was a great thrill to be able to come back, and the Yankees have done that. They've done just that.
We can't talk about how tonight's game without saying how important it was for the Yankees to win last night.
Oh, it was very important. They have to win. In fact, I think about it, Mike, they have to win tonight, too. They don't want to go back home being behind 3-2, facing 2 more great pitchers from the Braves.
That's the real problem. Now they have to beat what is probably the best 3-man starting pitching staff in baseball.
Yeah, Smoltz, Maddox, and Glavine, they're outstanding, and you usually don't beat them back-to-back. You know, like Glavine lost, but he usually doesn't come back and lose the 2nd game, so he could be tough. But it'll be a good series.
Now, the starters have been Atlanta's strength. The Yankee starters have let them down, but the Yankee bullpen has come up big.
Oh, the Yankee bullpen has done a great job. I mean, they're noted for their closer and their setup man. Two pitchers, but the rest of them have come through. Graham Lloyd has done a great job. The left-hander who struggled during the year when they got him from Milwaukee is doing a wonderful job for them. And overall, their bullpen has been very good, but they've got to continue.
And last night, the bullpen pitchers who relieved the starters pitched 8 innings for the Yankees, allowed only 4 hits and no runs, and that was the key to the Yankees' comeback from a 6-0 deficit.
There's Marquis Grissom, their Gold Glove center fielder, as Jeter stands in for the Yankees. And the pitch is a strike. No. Stayed off it. Check at first base with Jerry Davis. Said he did not go around on it. Ball 1.
Gary, that's an amazing sight at the first pitch of the ball game. All the flash cubes going off around the stadium.
And they're taking it, of course, as all these things that happen here are the last time things to go on here at Fulton County Stadium. We'll see lots of that going on tonight. Derek Jeter, 4 hits in 12 at-bats here in the World Series. Smoltz comes at him, 2-1. 63 degrees, clear skies, very little breeze tonight. Perfect night for baseball after a magnificent day here in Atlanta, Georgia. Right-hander to Jeter, and the slider misses down low, 3-1.
Gary, the one thing we'll keep in mind, the Yankee hitters, after the first 2 ball games, seem to be adjusting to the Braves pitching staff. They're more willing to take the ball the other way. Last night, 7 of their 12 base hits went to the opposite field.
And that'll be fouled off to take the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Charlie Hayes waiting on deck. They face tonight the real power pitcher of this staff of Atlanta. Less finesse than the others. Smoltz, leading strikeout man in the league, 276 during the regular season. 3-2 delivery, and he struck him out. Do you get the feeling, just by the way he threw to Jeter, this is a come on guys, let's go?
Yeah, he wants to. He's stepped up all year. This is his pitch sequence. Misses with the first 2 fastballs, then a fastball right down the middle by Jeter. Misses again with the fastball, away and right by you. And you know what? His location is not very good right now. It's more down in the middle of the plate than you expect.
Charlie Hayes against the fastball. Smoltz is starting this game with no. This is one of those, here it is, hit it if you can kind of first innings that John Smoltz has started out here in this game. Charlie Hayes, 3 for 11 here in the World Series. Another fastball.
And you see the location. More of the middle of the plate than you expect from Smoltz, but right now he's feeling real strong. You're exactly right. He's feeling strong. He's saying, here it is, try to hit it.
2-strike count on Hayes. Put the slider away and missed. A ball and 2 strikes. John Smoltz, 6th World Series start. Tried to get him to chase one. Lopez framed it, didn't get the call. Outside and high with that, 2-2. He has a World Series earned run average of 2.48 in those starts that he has made, 5 previous, and a 2-0 record in World Series games. 29 years old. strike 3 called.
That's a little more like the location from Smoltz. Tries to paint that outside part of the plate, and that time he did against Charlie Hayes. Look at the location. Right into it. See Lopez off the plate away, catches it right in the middle of his body. Larry Young with the call.
John Smoltz did not have a strikeout in the first game he pitched until the 3rd inning. He has struck out the first 2 batters. He had only 4 Ks in that first game, a very low number for a guy who averages 9.8 strikeouts per 9 innings, the best in the National League. And it's fouled back by Bernie Williams. Williams with a couple of hits now, but just 2 for 16 so far in the World Series. Big postseason numbers for him. 0 for 2 in his at-bats against Smoltz. There's Andy Pettitte, who will be coming out on the mound for the Yankees. One strike pitch is inside to the left-hander. 1-1. Nagel started last night's game by striking out 2 in the ball game and worked a strong first 5, and then it all ended. He hit a wall.
Well, the Yankees early in that game made him work. Went deep in counts, and by the 6th inning he had close to 100 pitches. So even though he only had given up 1 hit, made it, you know, where you hit that wall around that 100 pitch count mark, and the Yankees took advantage of it.
Here we got a 2-ball 1 strike count. And Williams fouls it back. One of the great ironies so far in this postseason to me, we saw Kenny Rogers, the starter, last night. He's been awful. They've won every game he started.
That's that bullpen.
The bullpen.
And Torrey goes, you know, he gets him out of that game in the right moment, and the bullpen takes over, and they've done a great job.
He's gone 2 1/3, 2 2/3, yet they haven't lost any of his starts. 2-ball 2 strike count. Kenny Rogers' ERA in postseason is over 14, and he hasn't lost a game.
Gary, did you notice Bernie Williams stepping out, doing that a little bit? They are doing this on purpose. They know the Braves staff like to work real fast. They get a rhythm going. Remember last night, Tim Raines stepping out. And this is something just to break down the timing of the pitcher. See, again, he's delaying, just getting in the box, and the pitchers burn at that. They want to get going in a hurry.
Especially John Smoltz. 2-2 pitch, and got him off speed. He strikes out the side. Yankees do not score. The Braves coming up.
John Smoltz coming out smoking. 18 pitches. We counted 16 fastballs. It's like, here it is. Hit it.
Neal normally would be, but he's hurt, as you mentioned, so could be interesting.
And Andy Pettitte with the first pitch to Marquis Grissom is a ball. Let's go back to Atlanta and Gary and Rick.
Fouls it off, and the count is a ball and a strike.
You know, Gary, I've just seen so much improvement in Grissom since I played with him in '92. Takes the ball to right center field, back up the middle. Doesn't try to pull the ball as much anymore.
We'll see whether or not the numbers of the Braves continue against left-handers, Rick. We did some numbers before the game. This World Series against the Yankees, Atlanta hitters are batting .426 against Yankee left-handers. That is a huge number. But Pettitte gets the strikeout. Grissom is gone, 1 down. Take a look at the rest of the lineup for Atlanta. After Marquis Grissom, Mark Lemke at second base batting second. Chipper Jones at third. Fred McGriff in the cleanup hole batting 4. Javier Lopez doing the catching. Andrew Jones, the 19-year-old, in left. Jermaine Dye in right field 7. Jeff Blauser bats 8th, the shortstop, and John Smoltz, the pitcher, 9th. Mark Lemke up, takes the pitch up high. Bobby Cox a little concerned early on about the strike zone he has seen. Shaking his head after Grissom went down swinging. That one down the right field line into foul territory, no play.
Thing I've noticed already, just the first batter of the ball game. Not the cut fastball from Pettit, curveballs from Pettit. Strikes out Grissom on the curveball. It was the cut fastball that really got Pettit in trouble in game 1, was leaving it out over the plate and really not getting it inside.
Lemke down the third baseline, fouled, and a 1-ball 2-strike count.
Another curveball. I think what he's trying to do here is just show him that he has another pitch, try to get into a little better rhythm early in the game. Pettit said he never really found the rhythm. He got banged around so much, never could really feel himself on the mound.
And that'll be a foul ball. Well, he lasted only 2 1/3 innings in the first game of the World Series. It was his shortest outing of the year, and he gave up 7 earned runs on 6 hits, including a home run. So you can't very well get into any kind of a groove when that happens to you. That he doesn't want to happen here. 1-2 pitch, and he's got Lemke. So all 5 hitters in this game who have come to the plate have struck out.
Curveball again. I don't know if it's on, I would imagine it's deliberate because they want to show the hitters something different. But what the curveball does, it's slower. The hitters are protecting inside. Look at Lemke, opens up a little too quick. The curveball is a more off-speed pitch than the cutter. Look at the defense. A lot of changes. 3 third basemen used last night in the ball game.
Driven to right field by Chipper Jones. Paul O'Neill makes the catch, and the 2 pitchers start out easily. Couple of strikeouts for Andy Pettit. Retires the side in order. We've completed 1 here in game 5. Yankees and Braves, no score.
Exclusively to the curveball. He's throwing a lot of curveballs, and when you throw that curve, it's a big arc, and it's a lot slower than the cut fastball. And the thing is, though, if he throws too many of them, the Brave hitters are going to start looking for them, and he's going to get hurt.
John Smoltz, who threw all but 2 pitches in the first inning, fastballs, starts Cecil Fielder out with one that's low. And Cecil, who looks as much like a sumo wrestler as a baseball player, which is interesting because he played 1 season in Japan in the middle of his career, is in the lineup righty against righty. Smoltz's second pitch is outside, so it's 2 balls and no strikes, and let's get back over to Atlanta.
Cecil Fielder up there with a 2-ball count on him. Fouls that one back. He's had a good World Series. 5 for 15, although just 1 RBI picked up on it.
We have to mention that Tino Martinez, normally the first baseman for the Yankees, benched tonight. Joe Torre talked to him. He's very disappointed, but he knows he's been struggling.
Hit hard. Chipper Jones can't get it. It goes into left field. Andrew Jones will come in to pick it up, and Cecil Fielder's on. A leadoff single here in the second inning, our first hit of the game.
Cecil gets a 2-1 slider, gets the bat out in front. And we have talked a lot about how much they play off the line. Look at how far he plays off the line. I mean, normally that ball, a third baseman doesn't even come anywhere near. He was able to make the play.
Fielder is on first base. Here's Darryl Strawberry. Strawberry 6 for 36 in his career against Smoltz. Takes the pitch down low. Nope, sorry. Strike in the outside corner. There are the postseason numbers for him. 3 hits in the World Series, 3 for 11. Fastball by Smoltz misses. 1-1.
Drastic infield shift. I mean, it reminds you of a Ted Williams shift. Chipper Jones is actually the third baseman playing shortstop. 3 infielders on the right side of the diamond. Last night, Strawberry attempted a bunt down third.
When they needed base runners, he was willing to give himself up, or at least tried to. He didn't get it. There's Bobby Cox. Interesting watching Bobby before the game today. He was out in the field while his team was taking batting practice, walking from player to player with extended conversations. Just trying to get everybody back on the same page. Strike called. Smoltz has got his 4th strikeout.
Started him off away and then finished him off inside. Darrell backs up on that ball, but it looks like it catches the inside part of the plate. See it from overhead. Maybe not, but that's a pretty close pitch.
One down. Cecil Fielder still at first. Strawberry retired. And Paul O'Neill coming up. A lot of these hitters have seen a lot of John Smoltz, including Paul O'Neill, who's 8 for 41 with 1 home run off him in his career. I think that Bobby Cox, I think Cox was really concerned that the Braves were really down when they got to the ballpark tonight.
They definitely were. And he wanted to just reassure him. He didn't lose any confidence in him. Hey, they were down 3-1 to St. Louis. So you don't have to look too far. Say, hey, this is nothing. We're even in this series. Don't carry over that last night's loss. And most players that have experience, they don't.
Yep.
Momentum. Momentum is only as good as the starting pitcher.
Paul O'Neill, a 2-strike count on him. Cecil Fielder not being held at first base. Breaking ball, line to foul down the left field line, and remains a 2-strike count on O'Neill. Umpires for the game look like this, with Larry Young of the American League behind the plate. Davis, Evans, Tater, Welke, and Ripley.
I rode up in the elevator with Larry Young before, and I asked him if he had ever worked behind the plate with John Smoltz. He said yes. In spring training, he said he throws a lot of strikes.
And that's a chopper towards second base. Lemke, Blauser, no relay. O'Neill hits into the fielder's choice. 2 down. Still the hamstring problem for Paul O'Neill, who did a bit of hobbling after he crossed over the bag. He was giving it all he had, but it hurts.
Goes back to the split finger. You see how the bottom drops out of the split finger. A lot of ground balls and strikeouts for Smoltz. But that hamstring for O'Neill is killing him. He is playing on one leg. You see him hobbling down first. He needs to rest it 6 weeks just for it to heal.
And do that now. Mariano Duncan. Scoreless game here in the second inning. Mariano Duncan, he has struggled here in the World Series. Just 1 hit, 1 for 14. And has had a couple of tough plays in the field as well. John Smoltz missing with that one. 2 balls and no strikes. Smoltz has fallen behind now, and 3 hitters here in that 2-0 count, which is a bit unusual.
The one thing about Smoltz, if you're wondering, has he pitched this year on 3 days rest? He did it twice this season and won both games.
2-0 delivery, a chopper towards short. They got a force at second base. They'll take it, and that will do it. So despite a leadoff single by Cecil Fielder, Yankees cannot convert here in the second inning. No runs, 1 hit and 1 left on. We go to the bottom half of the second in a scoreless game. Check swing. Did he go? Check at third. Yes, says Terry Tater. 1 ball, 2 strikes on McGriff. Fred McGriff has gone 5 for 8 against left-handers here in this series, and 6 for 14 overall.
Curveballs. An awful lot of curveballs from Andy Pettitte. What that will do, it'll make his fastball look faster. He's changed his patterns, and that's what you have to do when you're pitching against a team twice in a week.
Gets him to chase it, and Fred McGriff is struck out. 3 of the 4 batters faced by Pettitte are K victims.
Then he went to the cut fastball away, but the curveball really set up that at bat.
Oh, Pettitte. 1 down, nobody on. He's in control early on in this game, and Javi Lopez coming up. Got 11 batters in this game, 7 strikeouts. Fielders will get this one. Mariano Duncan. And there are 2 down here in the second inning. Both these pitchers are starting out strong. They're throwing strikes and getting outs.
Little cat and mouse game going on with Jim Leyritz. That time with Lopez the hitter. Watch what he does. There was concern that the first or third base coach were relaying signs. Look at, he goes inside and then he moves back away. They felt early in the first 2 ball games that either Corrales or Jimmy Williams was tipping off location to the hitters, because Leyris likes to set up early in the count. When you do that, you can relay to a hitter. Little whistle, a little call of his name, that means they're coming inside. Another curveball. Boy, this is completely different Andy Pettitte tonight than we saw the last game.
And the Braves obviously have got to regroup on what he's throwing. Again, he goes around on it on the check swing. And quickly a 2-strike count on Andrew Jones. Jones had the home run, of course, off Pettitte in the first game of this World Series. The only time that he faced it. There are the numbers for the 19-year-old. 17 pitches, 14 strikes. That one down low, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Other thing for Pettitte, they would like for him, of course, and he would like to be economical in terms of number of pitches thrown, at least early in this game. These bullpens have been used a lot. 1-2 pitch in the dirt again, 2-2. Al Stottlemyre, the pitching coach, talked not only with Pettitte but with the catcher before the start of the game, obviously about their game plan with the use of the curveballs. 2 down, bases empty, scoreless in the second inning. 2-2 delivery, and it's full.
Garrett, I'd just like to show you the difference right from here. A curveball, when Pettitte releases it, it's going to have this type of break. It's going to break down. The cutter will kind of cut in on the right-hander's hands. That's the difference between the 2 pitches.
First walk given up by Pettitte. Interesting, Rick, that Billy Connors, former pitching coach, taught the cutter to Andy Pettitte, but he also taught it to Greg Maddux with the Atlanta Braves.
When Billy Connors was the coach, the pitching coach with the Chicago Cubs, it's really helped Andy Pettitte in his career. He feels he can throw that cutter anytime, but what he's doing today, he's using the curveball. It's slower, it has more of a downward tilt, and it'll keep the timing of the hitters off.
That will bring up Jermaine Dye with 2 down, and Andrew Jones at first. He'll be held by Cecil Fielder, and Dye chasing one upstairs. Has not been a good World Series for Dye. Couple of hits in 19 at-bats, and overall just 191 in the postseason in the 13 games. 22-year-old has struggled. And that move read by Andrew Jones, who gets back in the bag. Remember Andy Pettitte with 11 pickoffs, leading the majors this year in picking off base runners.
He is so hard to read at first base. Does exactly the same thing when he throws the ball home or throws it to first base.
Runner goes. Throw down by. Nope, no throw at all. Stolen base by Andrew Jones. The 3rd stolen base of the series for the Braves.
First move. He went first move on Andy Pettitte. As soon as he picked up his leg, he broke. They guessed right that time. The slow curveball. No time for Leyritz to make the throw.
So a runner in scoring position here for Dye, who does not have an RBI in the World Series. 0-2 delivery to him towards short. Played there by Jeter, and that will do it. So the effort to manufacture a one for naught here, as the Braves are retired with a runner left on at second base. We've completed 2 in Atlanta. No score.
Inside corner, and but as long as they're working together and the catcher has an idea of what the pitcher is going to do, he can at least have it a little advantage.
Let's go back to Atlanta.
Fastball in the inside corner, missed. 1 ball, 1 strike.
See, Gary, I questioned the slider call last night while it was going on. If a guy hits a home run off of your 99-mile-an-hour fastball the other way, you tip your hat to him. You don't want to get beat with your 3rd best pitch if you're Wohlers. His best pitch is his fastball. Second best pitch is his split finger. Third pitch is his slider. I don't know how you can live with that after hanging a slider in that situation.
Did not challenge him. Strike on the outside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. One of the many things that will be debated forever in baseball, that pitch, the decision by Bobby Cox to walk the bases loaded that created the walk to Boggs, forcing in the run, fouled off, remains at 2-2. You get about a 50-50 split on that Cox decision today, talking to people.
Yeah, I don't know if Bobby knew that they were going to pinch hit for Boggs, but I still feel that was the right move to make. A little tougher with Boggs, the hitter, but I like his chances.
2-2 delivery to Lawrence, and a full count.
What you're seeing here, and Bobby's concern is, they're willing, Larry Young, the home plate umpire, willing to give a couple of inches off the outside part of the plate, but a little tighter inside.
Count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. 5 strikeouts.
Just what I just talked about. He's willing to give a couple of inches on the outside part of the plate. Look at where his glove is. That's off the plate away. His glove is off the plate. He catches it straight there. I mean, he's actually sitting off the plate, and he's getting that type of pitch. I mean, it's off the plate.
You know, what's interesting is where Larry Young lines up. Watch where he stands. You would think it would be the other way. And he's on the inside part of the plate where he can see it better, looking over the catcher's shoulder. Yet he's calling the outside pitch the strike based on the location of the catcher's glove right there. If it hits the glove, he's going to give you the strike.
Well, that's what I talked about last night. Most umpires, if a catcher catches it in the middle of his body, it's a strike, no matter where the catcher sits.
Andy Pettit in his first major league at bat is the 6th strikeout victim of John Smoltz.
You start thinking about strikeouts with Smoltz 3 times this year. He had 13 strikeouts in a ball game. See the umpire way on the inside part of the plate. He should be able to see the ball in better. You're exactly right. But yet he's more willing to give the pitch away a strike.
2 down. Here's Derek Jeter, the leadoff batter, who struck out his first time up. He is 0 for 3 now against Smoltz in the series, and takes that pitch inside for a ball. So John Smoltz will adjust in a hurry. He'll now brush people back with the inside pitch and try and get it an inch or so outside and see if he can get the strike. Boy, these pitchers are throwing strikes, both of them. 1 around on that one. Jeter 1-1.
Remember what I talked about in the first inning? Look at how quick Smoltz wants to work. He's back on the mound, ready to get his sign and go. The Yankee hitters last night disrupted that timing by stepping out a lot. You can't let a pitcher like Smoltz get into a rhythm.
That one drilled right into the glove of Chipper Jones. He was playing in at third base. It almost knocked him over. Look at that shot. Snow coned it. Side retired in order.
Got enough of the ball to get the out, but boy, it could have gone off the glove. But look at this glove. This is Jolly Green Giants glove. Look how big this is.
I've got a big hand.
You do? Wow.
I need a big glove. Okay, so this brings up the pitcher, John Smoltz, and like all the Braves starting pitchers, he's a pretty good hitter for a pitcher, but he takes the first pitch from Pettit for a ball. And just remember, Rico Petrocelli started out as a shortstop, ended up as a third baseman, used to snow cone him all the time. Let's get back to Atlanta.
Expected to hit the ball too hard.
Very competitive group, the pitching staff for the Braves. They compete at golf, you name it, golf, pitching, ping pong. They want to win at everything.
They have those great batting games and batting practice. And they get real nasty about it sometimes around the cage here as they'll divide up and try and outscore one another in simulated games. 2-1 pitch. Chase the fastball. 2-2.
See, that doesn't look like a pitcher's swing. He has a pretty good idea. He just swung at a bad pitch, but he's got some vengeance in that swing.
John Smoltz waiting, fouls it back.
Oops.
That did, yeah.
That was a little excuse me.
How'd you like to be a 24-game winner and you are a free agent when this thing is all over? That's John Smoltz.
Blank check time.
And he lofts it to right field, but playing in. Paul O'Neill perfectly positioned. And there are 2 down. Wherever you are in the world, great to have you with us. We are at Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, for Game 5 of the '96 World Series. The Yankees have won the last 2 after they lost at home in 2 games. They've won 2 here in Atlanta to even this series. We will be going back to New York for Saturday night's game, 7:30 Saturday night. There'll be a travel day tomorrow. Marquis Grissom, 2 down, nobody on. Somebody will have a 3-2 lead in the series, and we'll have a chance to wrap it up on Saturday night. After this game, we'll know who. 2 down, 1-0 pitch to Grissom is outside, 2-0. Marquis Grissom setting all kinds of records. His batting average, career rise in the World Series now, is at .386 for his career. That is the 5th best ever in World Series history. And Marquis Grissom has hit successfully in all 10 World Series games he's played in. That also puts him up there among some winners. 3-0 count on him here, and he'll take it. Second walk given up by Andy Pettitte. 2-out walk here in the 3rd inning.
Look at Pettitte's numbers throughout the year. Got to get him early. He gets better as the game goes on. Think back to Game 1, struggled, did not make it out of the 3rd inning. His ERA just keeps getting better, and I think the sign with Pettitte, why he has come into his own. Last year as a rookie, he was able to pitch in September in a pennant race. He went 5-1 in September and pitched well in postseason. That carried over to this year.
That good move over to first base, Marquis Grissom.
Gary, you mentioned about Marquis Grissom hitting safely in his first 10 World Series games. He joins Roberto Clemente, who hit in his first 14, George Brett his first 11, and the old Yankee catcher Thurman Munson, who hit in his first 10.
Great stars right there, and Marquis Grissom deservedly in that group. Mark Lemke checking at 3rd with Jimmy Williams here. 2 down, Grissom on at first base. Lemke struck out, as did Grissom, in their first at-bats. Those two only had struck out once each in this series prior to that first inning. Cecil Fielder holding Grissom on at first base.
One thing you got to be careful if you're Cecil Fielder. He has not been over at first base much with Andy Pettitte. You cannot take your eye off him, because he can not only pick off the base runner, he can pick you off at first base.
Jammed him. Good pitch. Lemke has to fight that off. Got nothing on it, and a 2-strike count on Mark Lemke. He is 0 for 2 against Andy Pettitte in the series. 2 for 7 against left-handers. There is Cecil, who played a lot at first base with Detroit, and the designated hitter role for the latter part of the season.
Very difficult for Cecil too, because he was used to playing every day, keeping his body moving, working it up instead of just hitting for a living. So yeah, you got to be ready over there if you're Cecil. Don't take your eye off Pettitte. You're liable to get hit right in the chest with a baseball. I talked about Pettitte's move. He does the exact same thing. Most left-handed pitchers will have to do one thing or the other. Look at first to throw home, or look to home to throw the first. He does the exact same thing.
Grissom going. He got a good jump. He's there. Leyritz turning to the home plate umpire on the call. I think he thought it might have been a strike. It wasn't. 1-2 to Lemke.
Leyritz just doesn't want to throw the ball to second base. Decent jump by Grissom, but he even takes a peek back. Leyritz has got to come up firing with this ball. Right here, get yourself going. Throw the ball.
2 stolen bases in the ball game for the Braves. Grissom at second base. Lemke, the 1-2 delivery to him. Breaking ball. Strike 3 called, and Lemke's upset. The 4th strikeout for Andy Pettitte. As these two pitchers continue the strikeout duel, it brings Bobby Cox out of the dugout screaming at the home plate umpire Larry Young. on this call. Third strike.